my God, I had to come back and talk. There was something else that I have forgotten to say earlier about this new show, this troll show I wanted to talk about with the people looking up the hidden history and stuff. But anyways, this is what is so true. I am so wheezy, which is another thing too. I wanted to talk about the cannabinoids and stuff. Like there's so many, there's big meetings and stuff happening about it, and the cures for not just the flu, but the cancers and stuff. And so, I was thinking about, well, I know that they, in a state where it's legal, they're making sure that they get their, cat whisker fertilizer on it or whatever, they've got control. So, but, so whatever you're ingesting, some sort of chemical if you're, controlled by the government. But just natural, like if you were able to grow it for yourself, which it's very controlled in our places. Like you wouldn't even believe, it's like to buy a seed is $25 or some nonsense. I have had seeds given to me, but it's really, it is way hard. I swear to God, it's way different than back in the 70s. You'd throw some seeds out and the whole thing would spring up in your yard. No, this is it's different now. I just think it's the same thing of like how they ended up putting all male trees everywhere. The way they've manipulated our agriculture and vegetation and trees and all of this stuff. So, anyways, that could be the tightness. But the thing I was thinking about is when you start coughing, all of like when you understand about allergies, I've said, and about how it's trying to get rid of toxins out of your body. So if you go and you smoke certain substances that have the ability to attach and be a carrier. So then when you're coughing it out, it's carrying out all the debris. And so it's kind of, this is how I'm seeing it. This is how I'm shown it. I don't know because I haven't gone in and watched all the studies. But I knew like Judy Mikovits is very big on that. She goes around, and now they're having a big one over the flu, of course. I think it's in Las Vegas. I think it was this week or last week. But anyways, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on about all of the people who are trying to continue in the medical. It's dividing. We got the group that's trying to bring forth the truth, and then we have the group who is trying to participate. Same with the law enforcement. My God, the footage that I have seen, and I've seen some people calling them out. I've seen some people saying some Bill of Rights shit and stuff. It's dangerous out there, man. These people are robots. They're a product of their environment. So anyways, the coughing and stuff, I think, is a carrier agent to get the stuff out, like in a natural way of the debris and stuff that you breathe in, any weird cells or anything. Oh, and speaking of weird cells, this girl, see, I'm already all over the place. This is from Dove deodorant. And I guess there's a spray on one or something. But any of the deodorants, this is what you got to be aware of, because they have certain chemicals, aluminum and hormone. They have hormone inhibitors, all sorts of stuff in those. And these girls are growing these giant growths under their arm. And one lady just had hers removed, and the doctor said hers was getting so big it was hurting her. And she said that the doctor said it was all breast tissue. And then the doctor said we should have had you go to a breast surgeon. We didn't know that was going to be there. So, and that, I remember when I was talking about cancer, how that's the cells going in the wrong places. It's like everything is starting to short out or something. Now I'm seeing it so much different than when I was in nursing school learning about it. Now I see all of these chemicals and interrupters and these things that they're doing environmentally on purpose to create this inside of us. So, that's what you got to be aware of to take care of your own health. But, there's several things now that I've got going that I wanted to say, but the thing that I had just seen that I wanted to talk about was, and it wouldn't let me save the video or anything, because I almost just shared the video, As soon as it started talking, I was like, what? Because this is what my guides always do. They tell me things and they show me things and they explain them to me. And then, I say them when I say them. I'm just saying stuff that's coming in. But I know I had talked about this before because it's something that they kept drawing my attention to, these dynamics in families. And so what I had just said, like this link between you and your direct, like the me to my mom and me to my daughters, that it is our learning, it is all in that whole thing, and us coming together. See, then we learn more from one another, but the whole learning is in this facet, this area, kind of. And so when you get all caught up in judgment, you're judging yourself, because I have seen this. When you start judging, you will experience the same thing you're judging, so that you get to see it, so that you get to experience it. It's a crazy dynamic, but pay attention and watch. You'll see it happen over and over, especially, I don't know all relationships, but I know I have seen this over and over in like mother-daughter relationships. That, you judge your mom of something, you're going to experience something similar. And then your daughter judges you, she's going to experience something similar. It's trippy. But, and those are the things that they get you to notice. That's one thing. And that's why we all notice different things, because it's a part of our learning, what we're supposed to be learning. In some cases, some of us are here to also teach what we're learning. And I know that is part of my thing. But so the, this connection energetically, as you are a part of the same thing. It's like you spread out kind of in this way. So anyways, I was just on TikTok, and Bobatero, he's on there all the time. He's on YouTube too, but he's on TikTok all the time. And so he does a lot of duets or what. He shares a lot of other people's videos, but he shares really good stuff. I like his perspective of like the stuff he shares. So this was a book, and oh damn it, I wish I could think of the name of the book, and I don't want to go off of here and go look. I'll look it up and then I'll post it in the comments or something. But so he was sharing, this guy who was looking at this book, and he was talking about something like you are more than you think you are, or something like that is the name of the book. And so it was explaining how your mom, when your grandma has your mom already has you inside of her. And so this whole thing, he starts going in and explaining in this connection, in the like biological connection, how I was already in my mom when she was experiencing from the time she was born. I was already in her. See how I'm a part of her that comes out to continue learning from the experience. It is almost like, it is a kind of slightly different than reincarnation or repossession, but it is kind of the same thing. Like you don't want to think of everything in like the dark. Everybody, as they're waking up, they get real much like the God and the devil. And they get real scared, like the dark and what's good and what's bad and what's evil. And, they are really freaked out about a lot of stuff. Because just like I was saying yesterday, these gods where people are saying like, these are evil gods and stuff like that. No, they're just, they're like philosophy. They're like the organs to the solar system. They are like the possibilities, the definition. I don't know how what words can explain it, but they aren't just like good or evil like that. Things aren't so defined like people want to label and put everything into those two boxes. That's why everything is opening up so much, because it's moving out of that. It's everything is shades of gray, and it all circles back to itself. We create these poles, so that we can try and understand it as part of our development, so that we can understand ourselves. Like, where do we fall between here and there? So as part of conscious development, to understand itself by having a parameter. But see, that we're evolving beyond that, so we can let go of those concepts, that idea. That's limiting. As a limiting way to look at ourselves, and using labels and stuff like that, that limits us. It takes away from us rather than builds us up. And so anyways, it was just so crazy after I had just said that, and then right away they bring me in some sort of information, explain, like, that to me is where they're giving me confirmation. And this is kind of trippy. This guy was talking about his partner or girlfriend or whoever he was talking to about ordering some pizza, and they were going very defined, very descriptive into this pizza because they wanted it to be from a certain place. They wanted extra pepperoni. They wanted a Mountain Dew. They wanted breadsticks. Like, they put in this whole order. And then as soon as they finished talking, there was a knock at their door. So they go to the door, and it is a guy with a pizza delivery for a different person, a different name. And he goes, well, that's not my name. And he goes, well, this is the address. And he goes, well, yeah, but that's not my name. He goes, maybe it's so-and-so or so-and-so's. And they're like, no, it's this address and neither of those names. And so they're going like, here, just take the stuff and, it's yours. And so then they left, and a guy went and opened it. It was the same order. It was the same thing. And it was from somebody named Mark. So he was like saying, like he thinks that there's Agent Mark Smith is sitting there and had the order there that fast, Are they putting these things into our minds? Are they fucking with us? Like, the guy who was totally freaking out about his brother situation, where, his brother is dead, and supposedly he died in a car. Now this guy, he is going at it as like something suspicious with his brother's death. Now he is totally like, this is just so weird. The guy's totally tripping out. He's videoing all the time. People keep asking him questions, so I keep seeing him explain more and more. But so he's totally tripping out about that whole thing. He's not at all looking at it like, his brother, supernatural and spirit and communication, and there's so much more, because I can see it completely as the brother going into it, like in the movie Ghost. Think about like when Whoopi could go into, was it Patrick Swayze could go into Whoopi, or Whoopi could go, I don't remember. Somebody could go into somebody else, or no, somebody had let Demi Moore go into them so they could touch. That's what. So anyways, the spirit, it isn't like taking them over. It's like borrowing them or something, borrowing them for a quick second so that they can get a coffee. And I don't even know if there is like loner avatars just out walking around, maybe those are some NPCs or MPAs or whatever the hell they're called, non-player people. Anyways, maybe there are some loners out there that aren't always taken. But anyways, this keeps happening. I keep seeing these kinds of stories where these crazy things are happening to people, and then they're going and start trying to find the person, and the person doesn't even exist. They can't find them. This guy keeps sitting out waiting for this guy to come back. I haven't seen yet where he has found the guy. So far, he hadn't found the guy. But spirit, I mean, they use it through animals like dragonflies, birds, all sorts of things where, you could be thinking about a loved one, and then all of a sudden, a spider comes down. Well, that is the communication. That's their spirit coming in to be close to you. It is a communication. A lot of times people, get scared, and then they focus on that instead of going, oh, okay, you're here. Let me focus. Let me concentrate. Let's communicate, And so, again, I think a lot of them try and come in as to what is going to be acceptable to you. But so many people, you got to kind of take it as it goes. But so you could manifest into this, this is all artificial. Like, nothing here is real. So to me, as spirit, will come in and, you know, give a stranger a coffee, look at how great you're doing, and then thank you later on AI. Because the stuff too with AI where people keep saying like other things than just this guy with the pizza, other people have had these same things been happening, and then they're saying, oh, it's the AI. And the thing I wanted to say earlier about like the people looking for the history and stuff, yesterday I put on that show, I think it's called Trolls. It's a new show on Netflix. It is a day, you know, anytime I feel like where I'm looking for something, if they just bring me in some kind of show, you know, and I watch it, then it always is like, oh, that really hit the spot. Or sometimes it's just like, you know, we want you to realize this, notice this. There's so much of that. Like, I swear I could talk so much more about that. Like, it's endless. And it just becomes where it's like, I mean, people got to just start seeing it for themselves. I mean, how many times can you point out the same shit? So, anyways, this, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the show Troll. So, I'm pretty sure it's called Troll, but it is, I think it's dubbed too. So if that annoys you, where the people's voices and their mouth movement don't match. So anyways, the little bit that I had seen that there's something up in the mountains, moving around or something. They're trying to investigate. I think there's sightings of something, but the cool thing was, at this one part, these two people are standing there talking, and it looks like they're standing like next to this rocky mound, and all of a sudden the rocky mound starts moving and stands up and then starts moving and running and trying to get them and stuff like that. And it was huge, but that is the kind of footage you see all the time in these people who are looking at for the hidden history. The mountains are really people. Like, there's a bunch of stuff now going around with Mount Rushmore. Like, it looks like almost like there's other faces. Like, did they put those other faces to cover up the other faces? Are they preparing to put another face? Like, you know, that's the thing, is it's hard to know any of this stuff, because there's like, this is like the total reveal and a total changeover into a completely new world, you know? And, what was it? As I just said this to my daughter, I said something, and she was like, well, that's what it's like to be, you know, consumerist, capitalist world, or whatever. I don't know, somebody probably in Buckdo. Oh, what's going on? Oh my God, what's going on in China? Oh, my Lord, have mercy. It just gets worse and worse. And, you know, because they did weld those doors, and there was people killed, and that's why there's so much, you know, the outrage. The people are just done. I mean, they're over the top what they're doing to these people over a flu, and they're trying to, you know, spread that. You know, that's the beta test center, and for every place is a beta test center for something. Believe you me, America's a beta test center for a lot of things, and you know, that's why we have certain chemicals that no other country will even allow in their place, and we're sitting here eating them all day long. Oh, give me a little dip with that. It's like ridiculous. So anyways, the whole thing with the troll thing looked exactly like, even the picture that they were doing, it looked exactly like what people had keep showing. And how, you know, is there these giant trolls? You know, I mean, there's giants, there's all sorts of stuff. I keep seeing more stuff. You know, I think you can go in and just look up about folklore and just start being like, this is real, this is real, this is real. And there was another thing too I had just seen. I saw a bunch of things where I was like, oh, I'll have to talk about that tomorrow and talk about that. But then when I saw that one, after I just talked about that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so I know that I'm onto something about that, like my understanding. I know it is really important, those relationships, to try and move out of judgment of one another and move into this, you know, calmer waters, you know, because that is where we really do learn and expand ourselves. We're holding ourselves back if we are divided off of anger and resentment, and, you know, because it's us failing ourselves. We think it's this other person, but truly it's ourselves, because we are playing all the roles. We are all of these things, not every single, but we are an aspect of every single thing that we interact with. So, it's a total waste of energy to be so angry and stuff. It's all a way so that the world can give you back what you need to learn. So everything that goes out from you is to show you so that you can expand yourself. It just, it seems like such simple concepts if we're taught that. And that's why I think it's so important for people to start teaching this to kids, because I think that is probably a part of the frustration with a lot of kids in the planet right now, especially a lot of spiritual ones, because I remember what it was like. It is very, very confusing. It is very difficult when the world is so much different than what you understand about things. And anything you say, but people don't understand. And I know that's true too, because I've seen so many parents, showing videos of stuff their kids are saying, and the parents are just like, blown away. And it's like, they just don't even know. And these certain energies, like I had said, are going into all different families and playing all different roles to help to, move people through that, which, shows us again that, this is a long process, this time of light to get into the new age, into the age of Aquarius. Like, even if you are concerned, like, your brother doesn't see and all that stuff, and you're worried for his salvation, remember, he's only got to be 51%, in caring about other people, besides just wanting to fuck everybody over for himself. But then, you get a process, you get time to heal. Like I said, mine started in 2009, and mine was very fumbly. Mine has been fumbly the whole time because I've been doing it on my own, and I haven't had anybody to help me. And in most cases, I've been, called crazy and laughed at and stuff through the process. So, that's why it's dear to my heart, is knowing what other people are waking up to and having to go through, and wanting to make that easier for them, because it is confusing. And there is a lot of people who have good intentions, who are trying to help, but they haven't gone through it yet. And there is a lot of people who have gone through it. There's a lot of us who had to go through healing. That's the way it goes. That is always how everything has to go, is, it's the energetic movement of things, it's the expansion. So, and I just saw this thing too, where this girl said, that all of us is like, we're all expressions of each other. We're all living these similar lives in different perspectives. Like, that is so profoundly what it is, and there is no reason that any of us should be in fear or anything with one another. I just feel like when we move more into this other understanding of spirituality, it's just going to make everything so much easier, because it's more natural to us. We need the things that it provides, and not having those things cuts people off. It makes them feel empty inside, and being empty inside is horrible. It feels horrible. And that's why addiction and drugs and sex and all these things can be used to temporarily fill you back up, because we want to feel that. We want to feel like, whatever it is, connected. I'm not sure, when it gets down to it, what it is that we are all trying to get from one another, some sort of connection. And we all want to have acceptance, we all want to feel love. We all want somebody to go out and have fun with, and be able to look over and, share a smile because you see the same thing as them. Everybody wants that connection. I think this is my own personal opinion. Like I said, I'm, watching things play out in my own life as well. But it is, It's kind of like as you do your growing and your learning, and you go through these processes, and then as you raise your vibration, and you start bringing different things, like it's not the same problems that you went through when you weren't healed. You went through certain problems, then you go through your healing, then it is that leveling up. So the other problems that you start to go through in this other state of being, because it's always got to be changing, otherwise the game just becomes dead and run out. Like, what's the point? So it's got to keep leveling up. And so then as you level up, and it is you get to see like your own mastery, how much have you learned, how well have you benefited from all of the stuff you have learned. And to me, there's so much, about it is just about like not taking things on, There's so much in relationships. If we own our own stuff and we don't blame others, and we take time, to understand our triggers, and it really is so much about taking ownership of your own emotional baggage, your own emotional state, all your stuff, and really trying to, heal your stuff, every opportunity. But sometimes, it takes a while to heal certain things. Certain things are deeply embedded into us. And it's not even just in this life. It's life after life. Like, there's a reason why you go life after life, and then you get more problems, and you're not healing the problems in that life, and then you're just dragging them with you into the next one, because it is imprinted into your soul, your DNA, your imprint, the part of you that exists, that defines you as you. And so, because each cell in your body has its own unique makeup. So we all have our own unique makeup. And but anyways, I found that just really, really cool. And I will post the name of that book. And there was something else too that I had wanted to say. Did I finish this off with because the Apple thing. So and they just did do some sort of update on the phones last week or something. It just jacked my phone up. Like, my phone is just so glitching out so bad since this stupid fucking update that they just did. And my phone practically burns my hands off. Like, whatever is being emitted out of these 5G bullshit things, it is a fucking killer on your hands, I'll tell you. And I can feel it travel through the nerves down and hit into even in my legs sometimes. It's crazy. I just know that they use these interferences to make us sick and stuff. And I just saw this. There's a whole bunch of psychics too that all of a sudden are on my page, a whole bunch. And so there's a lot being said about this over the next 5 days, I think. 5 or 6 days, and there's a lot of about this big earthquake, some big earthquake from California to Oregon, and I don't know if where those people were talking about is going to split. So I don't know. It feels to me like something is like it's coming fast, whatever's going to happen, and I don't know if it's going to be that really, like it's going to be. I mean, it could. It's happening everywhere else. Like, if you saw the footage of that one earthquake in that, it was New Guinea or something, it was fucking horror movie shit, man. It was crazy. It was like stuff that I've never seen anything like it except for in the movies. But we've got to remember, that's what we're in. We're in the biggest, most dramatic movie, of the universe. Like, we're the main feature right now of what's going on. And it's big, so it's going to keep being dramatic, and, we're the players, and we got to, gotta make it look good. But there was another thing too that I wanted to say about, because there's a bunch of stuff with, something with the flood. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And so it's just going to keep building and building and building. And so many tragedy things, I just can't even believe it. How I have to just keep telling myself, okay, this is what they wanted to go through. One of the things, this just broke my freaking heart, because I just said, maybe I did a TikTok of it, but I think I did a TikTok of it, just, when I open the door and then I'm doing my fire and stuff. And every day I just have such gratitude when I open the door and feel that cold of not being homeless and having shelter. It just makes me feel so, you have to have gratitude, You have to have gratitude just for having a cold toilet seat, just because there's so many people who don't right now. And so not just because people don't, just because we should have gratitude for everything. We should recognize that everything we have is a gift. It's a gift from the universe. And but not to say those people don't deserve gifts, because they do, but they're here on different challenges. They're here going through different experiences because they want to learn from it, not because they're worse people. It's because they are here to experience certain aspects of life, because it is, it's how we change stuff. I mean, just going into the age of Aquarius, we're not going to have this horrible stuff, the universe can expand beyond horribleness. So this footage was a homeless. It was a tent, and the snow was so deep going up the side of the tent. It was really deep. It looked like it was like 2 feet. And this guy suddenly unzips it, and he's crying and yelling, and don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. It's fucking heartbreaking. He's dragging the person out. He's trying to get the person to get up. He's dragging him down. Oh, it's fucked, man. And what I kept thinking, like, who's taking this video? Like, is this real? Like, are they making skits with homeless people? Like, what is, like, there's just so much weirdness. But it was just horrible, because I had just been talking about that I've been talking about this for, I swear to God, I think for a month. I mean, I knew that they were going to come in with this cold front and just nonstop. I knew that they were making people homeless to just take them out. And then they're going to come in with the temperatures. And I'll tell you another thing that I keep seeing is a lot of people are saying winter is completely made up. It's completely made up. Winter exists. And who knows even what they're talking about, like, did they make up seasons or whatever? But the whole thing with winter and these cold temperatures that they do is all a part of the creation. Like on the Truman Show, it's this creation of these temperatures to, I don't know, for certain experiences or something. But I just know that, over the past, I don't know, ever since they started, crying about climate change, where it started becoming obvious that something was going on. And, and I knew about the technology because I watched the shows, about the hidden history, the hidden technology and stuff like that, cosmic disclosures, stuff like that all of these shows, even Ancient Aliens, like I said the other day when I had seen that. And it was pushing space. So, everything, you have to use your own discernment. You have to trust your gut. You have to listen. And sometimes if your gut's wrong, then that is your opportunity to learn. Like, oh, so I was wrong about that. That is something, that I'm going through right now, is waiting to see what I'm wrong and right about for what I've been shown and told. Like, because it is all a translation. It's all an understanding. And so, I'm waiting to see, like, how I understand things and what they're showing me. This is a huge development in my relationship with the universe, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, I just thought that was super interesting that, that they had said that right after they had shown me that. So there is really, if you've got issues with your kids or your parents and stuff, it's something inside of you. There's something inside of you that needs to heal. And, use these things to bring it up so you can see. And when you heal it, it's going to help the other people heal it. Because we are all connected in such a beautiful way. So anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. I'll be back tomorrow if we still have power, you know. I mean, everything is just wait and see what's going to go on. I saw a trucker showing that there's nothing going on in the yards. You know, he said that this should just be rolling, especially like right now at the holiday season when people are buying stuff. And I think not only are people not buying things, but there's also, I think there's some sort of problem with things too, that there's some sort of a shortage. Oh yeah, because I keep on skipping off at this Apple thing. Yeah, because they this was a month ago or so where they had locked people into, you know, literally we went to work at the factory for the Apple, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh no, nobody can leave, lock them down, lock them down. And they kept them locked in there under the, you know, flu, and then kept them locked in. And then the people ended up escaping one night. And I saw footage. They were going out cutting the fences, escaping. They were all running. They're running down this road and stuff. And it was because, you know, that company wouldn't let them leave. And so now, while these people are fighting against the lockdowns and stuff, the control of the government, of course, because any corporation that is a part of this is who went to go to these places. It's all connected. It's all part of it. It's all part of why corporations went to play. It's all in together. But so they now, while they're trying to fight them, and they were China was trying to show, you know, just the same thing happened in Iran when they were trying to show. And so they just cut their media off. You know, they didn't let them. And so that's what they're doing over there, is cutting their media off. So then the people figured out there was some sort of airdrop situation where they could be getting videos and airdropping them, even though that they couldn't share it in any other way. You know, like they can't be on Twitter and TikTok, all this stuff showing us all. It's, you know, it's, I mean, it's bad. So, so this airdrop thing. And so then Apple came to the rescue, going to do a quick on the phones, you know, because I got it last week and it jacked my phone. But so it was to stop them all from being able to do that. So they're not able to use that feature. So whatever, it was just a quick, you know, hey, let's go in and do a quick update. And it jacked all of our phones up. So it jacked all their phones up. But that was the purpose of doing that thing, was so that they could share footage about what's going on over there. So anyways, you know, there's a lot going on. Even though they're not telling us, even though the news is trying to distract us and get us to focus where they want us to focus, that when you go out, you just really go in and start paying attention to what people are talking about everywhere else. You start seeing what's happening, and you can read the energy of the room. And so everything is, there's a lot going on. And there's so many arrests, so many just weird, the more strange deaths that are just going, you know, like the guy, the country singer who got married and died that night, like all is going to continue just being crazy stuff, because they got to get that attention grabbing stuff. But, you know, just remember all this stuff, you know, every soul, even if you think you're going through the most horrible thing, and you would never make these choices for yourself. It's just the way it works. It's just the way it works. And you are contract with every single person in your life. Everything is all set. The script is written before you're born. That's why it's all just destiny. It's all just, you are in the experience to play out what is already done, what is already written, what is already in. It is not only that, you know, it is this whole cosmic thing. It's not just you and your little simple life. No, we're going through a completely cosmic galactic change on the whole earth plane. So anyways, you know, big stuff is going on, that's for sure. So don't feel down and don't feel overwhelmed, and just keep remembering what people are going through, even if they don't remember, because people don't remember. That's part of the veil. I mean, it doesn't have the same impact when you know. That's why that is the taking the veil off. That is why you have such a relief of fear when you do take it off, because then you realize, oh, nothing can hurt you. This is all unreal. This is all a plan. I chose this. I'm doing this. I'm playing this. So, but the people who don't, they don't have the veil off. They are just looking at it like everything is real. They're just in the game, and the game is intense. So, and that's what I was trying to tell my brother the other day. Like, it changes the game. It absolutely changes the game when you wake up, when you have awareness, So, anyways, I'm probably rambling again. So, anyways, I'm just going to go back and continue to try and find something. And something is really weird with time. Like, oh man, time right now. It is weird. And just everything. I feel kind of like it is like an earthquake of energy around us, It is weird. Sometimes I'll start feeling like the ground is shaking. I'll start feeling like I'm shaking and start feeling like I'm like turning into these colors of blue, and I'm like, what in the hell? And then I'm like, okay, just remember, just a hologram. Everything's fine. Nothing strange here. You're okay. So, anyways, but like I said, it changes the game. The more you know, the more awareness, the less they can keep you in fear. So, anyways, be strong, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.